So we're in the first week of December. So 8 weeks takes us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That takes us to the first week of January, which takes us to the first week of February. Holy hell, Rob Gronkowski's not going to play in the playoffs for the New England Patriots. Oh, my God, the NFL just changed dramatically today. Like, oh, no. Still the Patriots. Still have Tom Brady. Do we remember when Brady last lost a Super Bowl and injured Rob Gronkowski? Did we watch Tom Brady struggle in the red zone specifically with the New York Jets this past weekend? Injured Rob Gronkowski. And if anything, this team is built more around Gronk than the previous incarnations of the New England Patriots. And oh, yeah, by the way, if you thought, hey, you know what? Their defense is what will keep this thing in it. We told you before, they might win a Super Bowl without Jamie Collins, but it shrinks the margin for error. When they lost to the Seattle Seahawks and C.J. Prosise lit them up, that was the guy that Jamie Collins would be covering. That was like his one skill was he's a linebacker. He can rush the quarterback, but he can also cover a running back out of the backfield. Like, that's his gift. Their defense isn't as good. Their offense isn't as good in the red zone. Like, that changes things dramatically. And I don't care what your power poll is or what your reaction is. I'm not freaking out here. I'm just being honest. I'm having a hard time thinking they're going to win a Super Bowl without him. Now I realize that the problem becomes if you don't like him, who do you like? You know, the Broncos are the team that you're like, wow, they got a sick defense, but they're probably going to be on the road in the playoffs as of now. Pretty good chance that they're going to be playing at least a road playoff game or two, and they benefit greatly from a big get-off. That's one of the reasons they beat the Patriots last year. And as well as Trevor Siemian played this past weekend, we've seen Trevor Siemian look like, well, Trevor Siemian much of the time. You can tell me the Raiders are awesome, but, like, dude, they're 9-2, and they have 7 more wins by 32 points. Like, do the math. They're winning by less than a touchdown. They are surviving games. Granted, 5-0 on the road. The Kansas City Chiefs, are you buying into Alex Smith as a Super Bowl quarterback? I sure as hell am not. Don't give me anything out of the AFC South. The Ravens, The Steelers, Like, the Patriots, I guess, still may make it by default, and maybe he gets back in time, and maybe he helps him in the AFC Championship game and or plays for him in the Super Bowl. But as much as I want to take them off that pedestal and realize that the margin for error has changed, and it now becomes super competitive because I don't care what the Raiders did, I still believe in the Patriots more, and I think most people did. That's really interesting. Which brings us to Gronk's future. Now, remember, in the preseason, there was a discussion about Gronk getting a contract extension. And my guess would be that while Gronk, and look, the back can be a major problem. J.J. Watt thought his career might be over. He went through back surgery. We'll see how he comes back. I mean, Larry Johnson was a dominant beast in the NBA when he was grandmama. He had back surgery. He became a three-point shooter. A sea change? That's what I feel like this is. Like, I like the Raiders. I love that the Raiders are relevant. Like, the NFL is more fun when the Raiders are relevant. But come big boy football time, I think we all agreed that it's a lot like the Seahawks. They were bad last week. They didn't have 7 starters. They're only 7-3, right? But we expected big boy football time. Once you get to the playoffs, like, dude, Seahawks, they're going to be around. Right? Yeah, the Cowboys have the best record in the NFC, but most of us, if we had to bet on one team in the NFC, we're going to put our money down on the Seahawks just because they've kind of been there, right? Like, the Lions have survived a bunch of stuff. I'm still not selling my Packers stock that I think the Packers will be there. Why? Because they have Aaron Rodgers and nobody else does. Like, to me, I'm not the only one thinking this, though, right? that Seattle was ultimately going to be my pick out of the NFC, and the Patriots, regardless of whether or not the Raiders had home field, were going to be my pick out of the AFC. And now I'm really having to rethink things. Like Rob Gronkowski is a matchup nightmare. And you know what Martellus Bennett is? Martellus Bennett is jelly. Here's what I mean. Jelly's good. Jelly's good on toast. Jelly's good on English muffin. Jelly is great with peanut butter. Okay? But peanut butter is way better than jelly because peanut butter is pretty much good all by itself. Like, you ever taken just a spoonful of peanut butter? You ever hungry? You go home, you take a spoonful of peanut butter, like, that's really good. You might need to wash it down with something. Nobody ever goes in and takes just a spoonful of jelly. Right? Have you ever done that? That just feels disgusting. That feels like taking a scoopful of Crisco. That's what it feels like to me. Peanut butter is good with chocolate. Peanut butter is good in milkshakes. It's good with bananas. It's obviously good with jelly. It's good on bread by itself. Peanut butter is actually really good on cheeseburgers. There used to be a place in Lincoln, Nebraska. I think it was P.O. Pears was the name play. And they had a bacon peanut butter cheeseburger. And I'm telling you, it sounds disgusting. You bite it and be like, that's one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. Gronk is peanut butter. Martellus Bennett is jelly. No, jelly's good. But it's a lot better when it's with peanut butter.